Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Entrepreneur's Gambit, where we discuss entrepreneurial journeys of folks who've been there, done that, and who are looking to grow, scale. And that's the whole objective of the Growth Creator in Bangalore. How do we help our entrepreneurs, especially our guests here today who are a part of that cohort, to grow their businesses, to create a larger impact in the communities they serve, to create more jobs, to create more wealth, etc., etc. And that's the objective of GAME. GAME, as you might be aware, is the Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship. And the idea is truly how do you galvanize an ecosystem that will help entrepreneurs like the guests we have on the show to help their businesses grow and scale. And thank you so much, Anushka, Saritha, and Sanddhya for joining us on the show today. And a bigger thank you for being a part of the cohort. And I'm sure you'll continue to inspire a whole lot of other entrepreneurs out there who are looking to start, grow, and thrive. So welcome to the show.
It's our pleasure, Madan.
Thank you, Madan.
Terrific. So let's start off and jump straight into the conversations. Maybe we can start off with you, Anushka, on what maybe each of you can start off by introducing yourselves, the businesses that you run, and what is that moment like when you became an entrepreneur? What were you doing prior, and what's been, how did you decide to be an entrepreneur? I always keep thinking of my favorite scene from this movie, English Winglish, when in this class, English class, Sridevi is told that, oh, you just don't work at home, you're an entrepreneur. And you can see the light in her eyes saying that, oh, I'm somebody. I'm just not somebody doing, stuff at home. I'm an entrepreneur. And I love that story. Yeah, so let's start off with you, Anushka.
Sure. Truly speaking, when I started my journey in 2010, even I didn't know the word entrepreneur.
Okay.
Okay. It was something new to me. So, hi everyone. So I'm Anushka, co-founder of LJ Snackies. We manufacture, we specialize into manufacturing snacks and short eats made with no preservatives and from home recipes. My journey started way back in 2010. After about working 10 years of in corporate HR, I wanted to do something on my own. And so food was something that always excited me. I'm a foodie by nature and Sindhi by birth. So way back then, the Sindhi cuisine has a lot of specialty snacks which were not commonly available. So I thought of venturing into snack catering business and started my journey from my garage space with just 2 staff and a great support from my mother-in-law who helped me develop the initial recipes. So we, and my husband supported me to fabricate a complete small kiosk. He's a technical engineer who was working in L&T then. So he fabricated a complete kiosk which can be manned by one person, which has storage, fryer, everything in it. And we started our journey like that, setting up 3 to 4 snack carts outside supermarkets. That's how it started, and slowly ventured into corporate catering. Since with 10 years of work experience in corporate HR, had a lot of connects and slowly said that because had to get the ball rolling. So I said, let's start corporate catering. So within 30 days, we got our first snack box order from Brillo, which was then called Collabra, 350 snack boxes. And I was working from a garage space of just 200 square feet. I didn't know how to do it. That was a moment I told my husband to take off from work. My mother-in-law, my husband, everybody were with me. The entire house was converted into production space because 350 boxes had to be delivered in, a turnaround time of 3 hours from manufacture to packaging. So with the pastry, a samosa, it had a little namkeen pack and juice. So 350 pastries and samosas had to be made by my team, freshly fried, and packaging takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So that was a moment we'll never forget. And that was the start of my corporate catering journey. So
Wonderful.
from there, corporate catering just grew. There was no looking back. Anything and everything the corporate asked, we went on supplying, providing. So by 2019, in 10 years' time, we were the preferred corporate snack catering partner catering to 10,000 employees on a daily basis,
Wow.
providing variety across 24 working days with no repetition.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Grew from a small 200 square feet to 5,000 square feet semi-automated unit, from 3 staff to 140 staff.
Wonderful. Very, very inspiring, Anushka. You
So
know, it's been I think two things stand out for me, right? One is that interesting that, well, as you said, you're a foodie by nature and a Sindhi by birth. I love that thing. Um, but it must have been tough to convince people around you that, hey, why are you quitting a corporate career, HR job, and trying to get into something as undifferentiated as foods?
So I wanted to do something always on my own, something to generate job opportunity and do something that I like, because my key strength is multitasking. And creativity is something I love reading about it, and I'm always creative in what I like to do. So till I got married, I did want to share financial responsibilities with my father. We came from a lower middle class family. Once I got married, I spoke to my husband, and in fact, he said that, why don't you do something if you've always been interested? Uh, because he had his source of income and we were good to go then. So I said, let's start it. If I don't start now, I'll never start.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful.
so
Yeah.
that's how it started, and wanted to pick up people from the socio-economic background with no skills, develop their skills, train them, and give them job opportunities.
Terrific. Lovely. More power to you. I hope in the next 5 years you can say we've employed not 1,500 but 15,000 people.
Thank you. Thank you. I would be great to have at least a team of 200 women with me.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's get to you, Sagarika, with Jeevan Organics, and what's been your journey? So,
Good morning, Madan, and good morning, Anushka and Sanddhya. I got married very early when I was 18 years. So by 19, I had my son, and along with him, I started studying, and I started
wow.
working as in Leela Palace and Neel Kamal, and then I finished my MBA in HR, then started working as corporate HR. But somewhere I never listened to anybody. The problem is in my house, they say I'm always dominating. I don't say it is dominating, but I understand that what the other person needs, and this has to be in this manner, and the things become all right. So then I thought that best thing for me is to write civils during that time. So I quit my job in 2010, and by that time I had 10 years of experience as administration, HR, and all these things. Then I wrote my Karnataka Civil Services. I got through with that. Unfortunately, 2012 batch, 2012 and 13 batch, we all went to court because there was so many other things happening, and we fought for 3 years.
Wow.
During that time, what happened was I was always into organic foods. More than organic foods, I was thinking about there is some ancient method of why people were not happy and they were not having diseases and all. And when I related to that, Garka Nuska and all, it used to cure so many things. Then I understood that the main purpose of all these things was good food, which was chemical free. So then I started using organic foods, and I used to source it from throughout Bangalore and all these things. Then I started growing my own food. We started growing greens and all. We had hired a farm near to Yelahanka. And 2012-13, we started supplying to nearby houses, friends and neighbors. The demand grew. People used to laugh at me when I said that we can grow up vegetables without fruits and without chemicals and all. They used to tell, she is either telling lies or she doesn't know anything about food without urea. The basic thing when you ask about farming is the first thing farmers put is urea to the soil. So they were thinking that she is stupid, either stupid or she's fooling us. Then I went to GKVK and I spoke to one a person called Dr. Dev Kumar. He was HOD of organic division in GKVK. He helped me and supported me, and he said, this is the way you have to grow. These are things where you get seeds, organic seeds and all. Then he introduced me to so many other farmers within Karnataka who were already into organic thing. Organic, that in 2012 it was a new thing, and people had just started realizing that food can be also grown without chemicals. Going forward, 2013, I started a small store, 500 square feet store, and we just mentioned that organic store is opening in Yelahanka. That was the first store in North Bangalore, I can say. And people, I didn't know that people were waiting for something like that. On the first day of inauguration, we had more than 200 people. Just looking at the pamphlet and the newspaper advertisement, they were like, "Thank God you started. Somebody started organic store here." We were all waiting. We used to go to South Bangalore, procure our vegetables, and all these things were very difficult. And from 200 to today, we are 2,000 plus customers. I have customer base. I have. When from day one who were there, they're still with me, those customers, and now it is like a big family. Like they know what my son is doing, I know what their daughter or how their mother-in-law, father-in-law are doing, and they tell that, Saritha, this is not good, this was not this is what I expected, and all these things. It's like family. They don't complain. They said, I don't want to complain. I know what happening with organic and all these things, how much difficult is it to procure 100% genuine organic stuff. But it is like more of a family, and I'm very happy that I started Jeevan. As I said, it has given me a path, and now from only one person, I was working like I couldn't afford to have a maid to clean and mop the store, because I used to think 500 rupees, 500 rupees per month is like I can have some other thing. I can invest in, I can pay like electricity bill and all this thing. Today I have more than 10 staff, and I'm connected with more than 500 farmers right now.
Wow, wonderful story, Saritha. Follow your passion, be adamant,
Yeah.
stick to your convictions. I think these are the interesting highlights that I was picking up as you were narrating your story. And I think, especially given the world that we're living in, there'll be going forward, I'm sure there will be a lot of emphasis on organic produce. So I must say that you're in the right place.
Thank you.
So terrific. Thank you, Saritha. Should we get to you, Sanddhya, with your flowery story?
Yeah. So I'll just give you a small, my name is Sanddhya, and my company is called Tulip Fiori. I would like to give you a small gist of how my childhood was before I get into my story. So as a child, I was born and brought up in my grandparents' place. And my grandfather was a director of Horticulture Society in Lalbagh. And I was not allowed to, really loiter around after school. You're not supposed to go out, play out with your friends and all those things. I had enough of activities, singing, dancing classes. If at all, I'm free, then you can find me in Lalbagh. So that is how, my childhood just went. And apart from that, also my personal life, at home, we had a beautiful rose garden on top of our terrace. Those days, terrace garden was a very new in thing. And, having around 50 to 60 varieties of roses. And there were gardeners visiting from Lalbagh and doing work in my rose garden. That actually inspired me. Every day in the morning, I used to go to the rose garden after I get up. So before even I would brush, just see, how many roses are there, and then just water the plants. My grandmother used to come up, pick up those roses, a few for putting on the god's photo, and few for making an arrangement. So we used to walk down all the way back to the living room, and we used to do a beautiful flower arrangement, which she had a beautiful crystal vase collections those days. And she used to do those arrangements in the living room, in one corner and in the middle of the living room. And I used to assist her in doing all these arrangements. So this was my childhood. As I grew up, when I was in teenage, I actually attended a lot of classes in Lal Bagh because, I mean, what do I do in Lal Bagh? Just loiter around, how much? So the officers there, the horticulture officers, basically put me on to different courses, basic gardening to, how to graft roses, to how to, take care of plants, all everything under one roof. There was one small course, a one-day course, which was held in Lal Bagh those days on how to make mushrooms. So I went to the mushroom making class, learned mushrooms, and then I was so excited. They had given me a bottle of spawn, that is the seeds of mushrooms. And then, I take it back home and say, I want to do, I want to grow mushrooms at home. So my grandfather, we had a lot of maids at home. So with all the help of a peon and a maid, I did all that process at home. And then, I didn't know as to how much I have to do. So end of the day, I made 20 bags of mushrooms. And, all of them were lying in one particular room, because for mushroom, you should have a very clean environment with, cleaned with chlorophyll and all those things. Chloroform and other things. So that particular room has to be dark enough, and we all prepared for all that thing. End of the day, after 23rd day, I got mushrooms growing up, and almost about 10 to 15 kgs of mushrooms. What will I do with those mushrooms? And my grandfather, since I had an influence in Lal Bagh, grandfather called up to the Hopcoms department, and they said, there's a few mushrooms lying around in the house. If you can come and, pack it and then sell it, it will be great. So they came home. Those days, whoever grew mushrooms, they used to come home, pick up those mushrooms, and then pack it in half kg and 1 kg bag. And then they used to sell, give the money as check to your name. So the first check I received when I was in 13 years old, I was like, wow, what am I going to do with this money? So my grandfather said, keep that money, and you can start off learning something else later. So I had this minor account in Canara Bank those days. And then I just deposited the check, and I was just happy with that. Then next summer holidays, then I was so excited. Okay, I'm going to do something this summer holiday. So fortunately, when I was in 9th, I had a Japanese lady who came around to teach the art of ikebana. Ikebana is the art of arranging flowers in the Japanese style. So I went and attended this class in Lal Bagh, and I was so excited. My summer holidays somehow, they went on with the classes and things like that. There was this lady from Sovietsu school who was living in Bangalore and was teaching in Lal Bagh. So I said, next summer holidays, I want to finish my junior and senior class. So then the next winter holidays, in fact, I completed my Ikebana class. And then I did a lot of research. Those days, we didn't have computers, or we were not having all those technologies. So there were a lot of florists who came, who had boutiques, who were talking to me and things like that. So I was very fascinated about having a flower boutique those days. So then I didn't know what I want to do, but I just wanted to be a businesswoman for sure. The moment I got that check, I decided that, I wanted to get into business. But what business? I was sure when I was 15 years old that I want to have a flower business. That's for sure. After 10th, I wanted to quit my studies and start a flower shop. But of course, our Indian parents were very, very, careful in taking you forward and making you study and things like that. So I said, okay, PCMB I'm going to take. B is because I want to learn biology and get into horticulture. So, of course, I finished my second PUC. After second PUC, that time was the time when, my father and my grandfather had a conflict. I wanted to do horticulture, and my father wanted to go, me to do something in technical engineering. So then I said, nothing doing. I can't really, take this technology. I just want to play with plants, flowers, and that is where I want to be. Then somehow, I was not allowed to get into horticulture. I ended up, taking BSc in electronics. And luckily, I got through Sheshadipuram College. Why I say luckily? Because Sheshadipuram College operates from morning 7:30 till 11:30 your course is done. So after 11:30, you're free. You can do whatever you want. So what I used to do is I used to go work in a flower shop behind my college and then earn and go to my Ikebana classes, attend that Ikebana classes and come back home by 5:30. So this was my actual routine. And then meanwhile, when I was in degree classes, I used to take up all that, bouquet making orders from college. If there is a chief guest, if there's a function, I make the bouquet, I take the order, I do that. During the college, day function, that backdrop and all is being done by me. And of course, my juniors used to help me. I used to bully all my juniors to do that help. And by the end of my degree, I had already completed my 3 certifications in Sogetsu School of Ikebana. So what next? I wanted to open a flower shop. Again, somehow I was forced to go to a job, technical job, software engineering, and I was also qualified to make e-commerce websites those days. So I got through HCL. I did a few projects in HCL. And after HCL, I changed my job to ITC Infotech. After I did ITC Infotech, while I was doing ITC Infotech, I was like, "Arey kya hai? This is the regular thing, morning you get up, get ready, go to job, sit in front of the computer. Even if you're going in the loo, you can actually see those coding on the wall going up." I said, this is not the life what I really wanted. So, finally I decided. I had a karate certificate. I was a black belt karate.
Wow.
And then, I had a Tai Chi certificate, and I also took a Reebok certification and yoga certification during my holidays after my degree.
Wow.
So I said, why not, take some classes? So I started taking classes. I was a fitness instructor those days. Started one small unit of, my gym and aerobic sessions. Aerobic was an in thing those days. So I really slogged in 2003, 2004 was my slogging days. So somehow I could, get all that money together, sold my gym. Again, that money, I put it for a vehicle, for a Maruti van those days, because I had to, transport the flowers here and there. And I had already done enough PR so that, I had my orders in hand. I started working for this hotel called Ista. And I always thank Mrs. Neelam Khanna, who was the, hotel MD's wife, who gave me that break in the hotel industry. So after that, I just quit my job and it was never looking back. I was only supplying flowers from 2005. June 5th was the pre-opening of the hotel. I definitely remember the date. And then from there, I started supplying flowers for all the hotels in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Hyderabad and Chennai, again, Ista gave me a break again there. So they had their own branches there. So I started working there, and then from there to Pune, Chandigarh, and Goa. So finally, I was working on so many hotels, supplying flowers, and I had a lot of staffs then. So I used to manage my business. Yeah.
Wow,
That's
what
what
a
I-
story. You are definitely one wonderful storyteller.
Thank you.
Listen to you for hours, I suppose, but in the interest of time, let's move on. What is outstanding in your story is how a passion that you developed early on when you were a kid, despite all the meandering paths you took, right? You said you started out with You always wanted to do it, but somehow fate got you into BSc electronics, then to coding, and then to a couple of jobs. But as they say, destiny is always, you never know what you're destined for, but it's always there in your heart. So I'm sure this can be made into a movie someday, Sanddhya. Really worthy. All of your stories, of course, are definitely worthy of being inspiring stories for women entrepreneurs to follow their dreams. Actually, I wouldn't even say women entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs to follow their dreams. Scratch women.
Yeah.
Terrific. So, brings me to the other point. Let's cut to the current, to the present. The last 1 year, 1.5 years, businesses have been under stress. We are in the midst of this raging pandemic with so much of uncertainty. How does that impact your businesses? How are you dealing with the challenges currently? Anushka, you want to take a shot?
So, like I said, we were specialized into snack manufacturing. So seeing tremendous potential in the growth of snacks and the importance of snacks around. In 2018, luckily, we set up a semi-automated unit run by women to manufacture frozen snacks. We started with only samosa as a variety. I had about 10 women then with the capacity to manufacture 10,000 samosas on a daily basis, and started getting small contracts. So we were the suppliers to Hatti Kapi, and we indirectly supplied to Sweet Chariot, had a load at the season time. So we had a lot of small cafes we supplied frozen snacks to. So COVID put our corporate catering business to a standstill.
Yeah.
And that totally blacked me out because right from a peak curve, I was down back to zero. I didn't know what to do with this work from home scenario. I felt like I'm back in 2010 with what to do. So with this model which we developed or in 2018, it really helped me. We then channelized our energy into manufacturing frozen snack variety because and we launched a brand called Snack Me, which was for D2C. So we developed then varieties of samosas, momos, and rolls. And during COVID, I observed that there were many businesses which were hit. So I'm I'm an active member in our Sindhi Association committee. So contacted women, enterprising women in apartment complexes, townships, who were maybe home pruners doing food. We then added on our frozen snack variety to them. That's how developed a channel to spread across Bangalore, set up about 8 distribution hubs this way. To reach closer to customer, we shared commissions with these people and so that they also get an additional source of income. People who had boutiques, people who had saloons, entire business economy was hit. So that's one project which we started, and we also then contacted various cloud kitchens to supply and say that these are handcrafted snacks, which it's labor intensive. So we assure you your revenue will increase by 30% if you add on our snacks to your menu. I did a working model and showed them, and that's how then also supplied our white label goods to cloud kitchens. We also got into contract manufacturing for Global Foods and 2-3 other brands. Okay. This channel helped me sail through in COVID.
Excellent. That's a fantastic example of how you pivot very quickly from your customer base. And corporates obviously were shut to kind of open up other sources of customers and revenue and be relevant to them.
It was a new experience for me, and it's been a learning experience for me in the last 12 months.
The interesting fact is somehow you had planned for this early on so that we were able to shift revenues because of that the automated plant that you have for frozen foods. Very interesting. And Saritha, how's it been for you? Again, you're a consumer-facing business as well.
Yeah. Last year COVID was really a blessing in disguise. I should say, I should not be using this word, but still with regards to business, we did really well. It was like we started from 6 a.m. in the morning, and the delivery used to happen till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. We did every day business was around 1.5 to 2 lakhs per day.
Wow.
and it was very good. And I thought this was the right opportunity for me to serve people, because customers were always supporting me. This is a time that me and my team has to support customers, because they will remember. And every customer used to be very thankful and say that during this time you are taking risk. And believe me, when COVID hit, Jeevan Organics was the only one store which was open in entire of Yelahanka. First week, at least for a week, no, there was no other store. And slowly other stores also started, but still, when we the way we served people, they really appreciated. And my dream was to have at least 2,000 customers base for Jeevan Organics, and it happened during last COVID. And still, from 200 to 2,000 customers was the way I built because of the COVID. And it is going good, but this COVID has really hit us, like others also. Because of the timings. Earlier, consumer essential were allowed till middle of the night, or
Correct.
are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So it was like that. And this now it is 6 to 10 a.m. and very strict. Even for the delivery boys also, they are not allowing. So now it is badly hit, very badly hit right now. But still, I believe that all these years we have taken so much of efforts and hard work to reach this level, and it will continue to be the same, because I started delivering milk at 5 a.m. in the morning when I started Jeevan.
Wow.
So that is how we were able to build a lot of customers. Now it is, I think, patience and perseverance will definitely help us.
Exactly.
Good.
Those are the two key buzzwords here, Saritha.
Yes.
Just as a follow-up question, like what Anushka was talking about, alternate channels that you created and other customer sources. Have you seen traction in the online version now? Have you gone online with so if I'm a consumer anywhere in Bangalore, can I order online on Jeevan Organics?
Now we are online. In a couple of days, we were having just a website. Now we have moved into e-commerce. In a couple of days, few here and there, the things are getting set, and we'll be online. And we are also tied up with Amazon now. So
I can order for your products on the Amazon.
Amazon also, yeah. And few, I think within 10 days we'll be on with Amazon. Like that we can order.
And again, back to you guys, before I come to you, Sanddhya, how has been the learning journey? I'm not talking about the cohort here. You had to go online. You're now trying to make it an e-commerce site rather than just a portal. Anushka, you had to find newer sources of revenue. You had to find other customers. As you said, you had to find housewives and sell it to them. What kind of, how did you manage this learning process?
Learning process, it was something like doing something which you've never done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And gone are the days, Madan. That time we used to study college and all was okay. Now when you're a homemaker also, you have online classes of kids going on. You have, and then COVID time, there's a thing that you don't call maids home for long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of added responsibility on a homemaker.
Correct.
And at the same time, you have business stress and challenge. Now,
Correct.
How do I pay salary to, okay, from 140, I've got it down to 25, but still I have to pay them salary on 5th. So you have limited time at hand. You have other add-on thing, but you have to. There's no other choice. If you have to, and that's how as an entrepreneur, one has to fight. You have to fight and come up. And that's what I said, that there's no shutting. I will not shut. I have to turn around, and I took 60 days time. April and May last year, I didn't do anything. Those were the 2 months I did survey, I studied, I did product development with my team, because luckily my team stayed in the same place. I shifted them to the factory next floor, so you don't get out of the gate. We did a lot of R&D, we did product development. For me, e-commerce was something very new. Contacted friends who have already approached and who were into Amazon. We had friends in Amazon. We had a good network and social circle. So with a lot of support with friends and family, slowly started it. But it is a learning. You have to get creative. You have to be innovative.
Yeah.
The second wave is hit all food businesses and a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Those who are employed, I must say, are good.
Lucky.
Are the lucky lot. But so we have to get creative and innovative on either how to channelize, create something new markets. You have to keep knocking doors.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that will only help you survive.
Exactly. And Saritha, what's it been for you? How did you manage to kind of learn the basics of e-commerce and how does it work and all that stuff?
So when I mean, I should say thanks to Cohort, because when I came there only I understood that how much e-commerce or ordering online is important. Along with COVID, also made me to think that now the time is right for you to get into e-commerce, because I was thinking I had other 5 organic stores which I had started along with Jeevan. Then I have a cafe right now. Cafe is totally shut. Last COVID also it was shut. This COVID also it's not working. So then I had invested in 2 other stores actually. So then now everything is on hold since last COVID. So then I thought that it's better that I have to learn new things. I had to learn a new way of selling my products, new way of reaching customers is e-commerce. Like people definitely would love to sit at home and order instead of calling or instead of seeing WhatsApp and all. So now I'm doing that, and there is a lot of learning actually. Like I know now where and how to reach people now, different methods of reaching people. And what I should say is there is no shortcut for entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
There is no shortcut. Hard work is definitely matters, and the way you serve customers definitely matters.
Exactly. Absolute home truths that will stay the test of time for a long, long time to come.
Yes.
So Sanddhya, over to you for a quick response. One is, of course, how's COVID treating you in times like this? And two, let's also shift, and given that we are almost at the end of our segment, I also want you to talk briefly about how's been the experience with the cohort, and then we'll come back to you, Saritha. Sorry, I'm seeing Sagarika on the screen and I'm confusing Saritha and Sagarika. And Anushka. Okay. So your 2 minutes starts now.
Yeah. Before the COVID hit, I was in Visakhapatnam. So I also work for government of Andhra Pradesh and government of Karnataka and government of Uttar Pradesh for organizing their flower shows.
Okay.
So I was in Visakhapatnam and I work for VMRDA, the Visakhapatnam Development Authority, for developing their parks as well as the flower shows. So there was this huge order, which I was like, so happy doing it. And all my staffs, the complete staff members were there in Visakhapatnam. Around 120 staffs were there. And we worked. And then I think February, I had another order in Pondicherry. We went to Pondicherry, and then I said, okay, for the new year also, I've not taken the break. So let me come back in March and then take a break and then go back. So March 19th was when I arrived to Bangalore. And then my staffs had continuously been working for almost 6 to 7 months. So they wanted a break for sure. And anyways, Visakhapatnam was close to West Bengal. And then I said, all of you go. And I definitely need about 5 staffs to come back to Bangalore for a small, orders here and there. We all came to Bangalore, and then 20th we had get together at home because I was back to Bangalore. So then after that, 23rd was the lockdown announced. I can't even tell you how tough it was because 22nd, 2 of my staff members got dengue, and they were admitted to the hospital. And we were looking for platelets and things like that. This pandemic again started, and then we don't know what to do. Their parents had already, planned to take them from Bangalore to West Bengal on 25th. That obviously those tickets got cancelled, and I had to take care of them for almost, without any business at all. There was no get-togethers. There was nothing, no flower shows, nothing happening. So completely standstill, zero business. And then those days, it actually gave me that space to think what I have been doing till now and what I should do next. So 2 strategies worked out for me. First is that, I started advertising myself for landscaping business because I had a prior experience for landscaping for doing all the parks and gardens. So I was thinking B2C would work better for me. And then I came back to B2C. And I started getting orders from September onwards. So October was the time when we started working again.
So
Of
you
course,
also
from
managed to implement your
120 staffs, I had to come back to only 3 staffs. So 3 of us, I was literally, I've been doing the sewing, I have been doing the plowing,
yeah.
I've been doing everything, end to end. Cleaning also sometimes.
I can imagine that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially times like this are so tough and so unpredictable that you have to cut down all sorts of costs and stay afloat. And staying afloat
Exactly.
times like this is the most important thing because you have to survive this. If you
Yes.
survive, then obviously there's growth, right?
Correct. And the second strategy was to teach. I was into teaching for hotel management colleges. And I used to teach hobbyists because I have already taken my certification from Germany, Japan, in different parts of the world.
Okay.
So I started teaching in hotel management colleges on a part-time basis, on a visiting lecturing basis, that too online. So I have rendered a lot of these lectures. That also worked out for me. Now I'm coming up with a online course myself with the designed kits which is designed by Tulip Fiori.
Got it. So you can send it home and you can train and
they can attend the Zoom session and they can see, copy me and then do the whole arrangement.
The idea is how do you leverage all the strengths that you have to generate revenues?
Exactly. Yeah.
And how's been the cohort experience?
Okay. Before I came to the cohort, I was also always thinking, I had already done my ISB, course, where we had mentors assigned and things like that. So I saw this ad. I don't remember where I saw this ad, but I got the call from the XPN place, and then the first thing I asked them was, do they teach how to market? Because for me, marketing never happened at all in my career. For 15 years, I have never marketed myself. It was always word of mouth, and whether it's government or the private hotel industry, it was only word of mouth. For me, reaching out to clients was very challenging. But I should say that I've got a lot of insights. I've got a lot of, especially our, the way of the course is designed. I have got a lot of insights on marketing. And, they also teach us, a few techniques on how to talk to the clients, how to get back to your old clients, bring back some businesses and things like that. That's helped me a lot.
Sure, absolutely. And especially in times like this, acquiring customers is the most important.
Yeah, that's right.
And Saritha, how's it been for you?
It's really good. Actually, I'm very thankful that I got selected for cohort program. Actually, I was running a business. It was very successful. I was not knowing like exactly what I'm doing, whether I'm on the right path or I started 5 stores and I had to shut down because lack of staff and other things. Then I was thinking that I should have somebody to tell me whether my path is what I have chosen is right, or the way I'm doing the business techniques is right or wrong, and should I go into online fully or something. So many doubts I had, which joining cohort, I'm very happy that slowly everything is clear, and I've got very good friends as well, peers as well, so, with whom I'm collaborating my business and selling it to them in their websites as well. So getting selected to this program is, I feel that I'm very thankful for that, grateful for you all people.
Thank you. I think the hearing what you say kind of really validates our hypotheses that of course skills are important, but Saritha, to your point about learning from others, and there's so much of collaborative efforts that's possible. I'm sure Anushka, that's the case with you as well. What's been your experience?
Yeah, I can say that I was very happy to be selected for the game program. Especially, it's come at the right time for me. because I had to change my focus from corporate catering, which I was a master at. I could sell even with my eyes closed, I can say. And coming to a product which I had to go direct to customers, I had to do B2C, B2B. So it's a definitely helped. I can say that this was one of the first program that I've seen which has a holistic approach for entrepreneurs. I will not use the word women because I treat male and women same when it comes to entrepreneurial journey. So it is definitely helps us to develop our marketing strategy.
Yeah.
For me as a learning, I was blind to finance. After about 3 years of my journey in business, corporate catering, my husband quit his job when I conceived my first kid. And when he quit his job, he continued to handle technical and finance. So since it is my husband, I never got into finance from that day. Okay. I said, but I was made to realize that it's very important. You can't say as a co-founder that you don't get into finance, okay, or you don't know. So I took the opportunity of understanding the finance, making my own Excel sheets, getting data from Tally, putting it as to, what it is, because end of it, I would say to every business owner, money saved is money earned.
Exactly.
So having a tab on business finances is very key thing, and it's even more important in current scenario. So I really thank Game for connecting us one to such a good ecosystem of connects. They've been very wonderful, even in current scenario. So, if we have an ask, we know that, we have someone to look at today. If it wasn't Game, I wouldn't know where to knock. So that's been wonderful, and definitely a good platform, a structured course for women, which is not only a teaching model like a pen and blackboard, but experiential. So I'm really thankful to that, and I'm sure that these strategies earned, and collaborating with the wonderful women here. We are about 8 to 10 of us into food products, and we are collaborating with each other to grow each other's business is really helpful to reach out markets better.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that's the key. And, it's very interesting that in the last 45 minutes or so, we have never really spoken specifically about challenges that women entrepreneurs face. We've only spoken about challenges that entrepreneurs face. And I find it very heartening that, listen, at the end of the day, my belief is that the world shouldn't care whether you're a women entrepreneur or a male entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur, period. It's easier said than done. There's a lot of challenges that the society throws at you, I'm sure. But I think the attitude that you're going with, that I am an entrepreneur first, and my job is to grow my business, to generate incomes for not just for myself, but for my other employees, and to deliver superior consumer experience. That has no gender lens there. That's
Definitely
true for everybody. Right?
Yes.
So that's fantastic to hear you guys articulate it so well. I think each of you spoke about patience, perseverance, that there's no shortcut to success. I'm sure to all our audience out there who's watching this show, jump off that fence and go get started. Don't wait for years to pursue your dreams. As one of my favorite mentors and one of the foremost thinkers of entrepreneurial thought in the world, a professor called Saraswati says, the first principle of entrepreneurial thinking is get started with what you have. Don't wait for things to happen, right? And that's true in each of the stories that we've heard today, that you didn't wait for things to happen. You went out and made things happen. With whatever resources you have, and kept building on those resources. So hats off to all of you guys. More power to you. And I really wish to see each of your dreams come true. And I'm sure at Game, we are happy to support you in your journeys in whatever way we can. So here's wishing you, your businesses, your employees, your families, all the very best. Take care, stay safe in times like this.
Thank you very much, Madan.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Madan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.